Hey guys, Terry here. It's time for the next sheetload of cards. Alicia has put out the April 2022, and it is a mini slimline. So if you know, slimline are the cards that fit into a business envelope. The mini slimline is the check size envelope, so really cute. So she found a very efficient way to cut your card stock so that we can make 8 slimline cards. So it's really cute how she did it this month. So I have picked out just a pack of springtime paper. This is from Cartabella. It's probably a few years old. 2018. So I just pulled it out of my stash, which is what I love about SheetLoad of Cards. She says to pull out, so her instructions are very easy to follow. She says to pull out 4 6x6s, and we're going to cut these up so that we don't waste any, and we make 8 cards out of it. So love that. I'm going to make it this time on some craft colored 8.5 by 11 paper. So this is 110 pound weight, and I got this at Michael's. This is their Recollections 110 pounds. So I bought some in the black and in some craft so that my card bases aren't always just white. So love that idea. And I picked out a couple of stamp sets. I wanted to do happy birthday and thank you cards, so I got out this Peaceful Moments stamp set, a couple years old. And then I also wanted to do some flowers on the front. So I thought I would use this forever and always and use these 2 flowers and their leaves. So I will stamp these and color them. And I think I'll use markers that are in the colors of this paper. And that'll just add a little bit of something. And then I'll cut out my sentiment to layer on top of that. So let me get all my pieces together and then we'll assemble them. So I'm using my Misty here to stamp my flowers, and I've just got some scrap paper that I'm stamping these down on. And I love to use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It just gives such a crisp image of the stamp set. So I'm using my little hockey puck tool to press down the stamp on my Misty. And then, of course, you know me, I love to use the the clear embossing powder on top of this ink. It just gives it a little extra glossy look, just a polished finish. And then I use my heat gun to melt that powder. And you can see it just adds something to it. And then when I color it with the markers, the image just really pops. So it's just something I started doing, and then once you start doing it, I think you don't like just a plain stamp image anymore. Next, I stamped my sentiments. I did some happy birthday and some thank you. And finally, we're cutting the paper. So she's got great instructions on her PDF that's downloadable. I'll have a link to her YouTube video, but she's got very easy to follow cutting instructions. I like to use my Tonic Studios guillotine cutter. It just gives me such a good clean cut. So I'm making 8 card bases, and then next we're going to cut the 6x6 paper. I'm using my Score Pal to just make a little crease on the card base. The Score Pal with its little bone folder helps you make a nice clean fold. So I love to use the Score Pal. So if you haven't, go to Crafty Owl's channel on YouTube. I'll have a link below, and subscribe to her because monthly she puts out these recipe cards, and it's so nice and easy to follow. She's got a sample card on here, and then she's got all the cutting instructions. So if you've got your supplies out, you follow that recipe and you'll have a batch of cards in no time. So I highly recommend subscribing to her. So what I've done is I've cut the paper as she suggested, and a couple of my papers had funky things on the back. So I've just kind of pre-planned how I'm going to match these up on my little mini slimline card. So those are ready to glue. And then I think what I'm going to do is have a couple of these flowers that I will color with my Stampin' Blends from Stampin' Up. I will color these and put them on the card. And then this piece will be popped up on the side of the card there, like that. So let me start assembling. The card fronts went together very quickly, glued each piece, and then I colored my flowers and my leaves. And this, again, went quickly. It was fun to do. I love to make a batch of cards, and sitting here and coloring is just something fun to do. Very relaxing. I didn't get fancy with it. It was just one plain color. Okay, now to assemble it. I think I'm going to have the big flower here, and the smaller flower here, and then the leaves. And then I've got to be careful that I don't glue it past this part here, because this is going to be what opens. And then we'll glue the whole thing down, and like I said, I don't want to put glue on this end of the paper. So I'm going to do it about here. And then I want to have it towards the bottom, but I don't want the leaves to not fit in the envelope, and I don't want the flower to go past. So we'll put it about here. And there's our little slimline card. It's a little mini slimline. Isn't that pretty? She comes up with the best ideas. So like I said, subscribe to her channel. She's got the downloadable PDF. In her video, she explains how to get that PDF. And it's for free. She just asks that you subscribe to her channel. And she's just got all kinds of inspiration for making a batch of cards. And if you've got your room organized and ready to go, then you can make your cards quickly. I have an IKEA desk here, and I keep my supplies in the drawer. So I've got my glue, my markers, my scissors. My paper is on a bookshelf. And I have my Misty Stampin' Tool for stamping the sentiments and decorations like this. And I'll have links on my website to the tools that I use. And if you use those Amazon links, I make a few pennies, so I appreciate when you do that. But yeah, I think it's all about just making a batch of cards. Sometimes in our craft room we don't know what to get started on. And I find that if I just make a batch of cards, then I've got all kinds of ideas going. So I like to scrapbook and make cards. And I love to quilt. So one of my next videos is going to be a quilt project that I'm working on. Okay, here's the finished cards. I think they turned out really sweet. So cute. And it's such a unique way to do a fun fold for a mini slimline. So I think they turned out really cute. So I've got 4 birthday cards and 4 thank you cards ready to send out. So really like how they turned out. So remember that your 6x6 pads of paper have coordinating colors. So it's really easy to grab some of your paper out of your stash and make these cards. So, and we all have stamp sets and just a little, some type of embellishment to put on it. And you're ready to have cards made. So thanks for watching. I will have a list of all the supplies that I used on my website. I'll have a link below to that post. And I thank you for watching. Bye, guys.